Remember, this is the 3 days public speaking workshop where we discuss about 5 subjects or 5 topics on public speaking and presentation skills. So if you're just joining us, thank you for coming early. I have some people already leaving comments with us. Okay. Very good. Very good. So today we are going to be looking at how to sell yourself. How to sell yourself in a presentation, in a speech, in a negotiation, in an interview. How can I sell myself? How do I sell myself? And in the course of that conversation, I have a very short interview that I would like to run today. In the course of this interaction, I have in the house one of our clients that will be graduating this weekend from the Abuja branch, that will be talking to us about her experience of the program. She has attended our program for about 3 weeks now, and I think she's in a better place to talk about her experience, talk about what she has encountered and how the program may have or may have not been of strong help to her. So she will be coming up anytime soon, but I just want to give it a little more time so that some other persons could join us. So pending to the time they will be joining us, I want us to do something very quickly. I want us to get into the subject a little bit, lay some foundation, and then see where it leads. So today's topic is how to sell yourself anywhere and anytime without coming off as an arrogant person. This topic is more relevant to those of us who will be going for pitches, business pitches, to pitch in a business program, and those of us who will also be going for job interviews. You will find this subject very, very relevant. Also, if you're a business person, or if you're an entrepreneur, or you are a leader of any sort, then this subject will be very, very crucial to your success, because we are going to be discussing some of the things you need to do to set yourself apart in the marketplace. These are things you need to put in place if you are going to be able to sell yourself in the marketplace. One other thing I want you to take note of is that when we talk about public speaking, some people actually limit the scope. Some people think that being a good public speaker is all about being very good with presentation, like stage presentation or public presentations. But the truth is, if you are a good public speaker, you should be able to handle other forms of presentations, such as interview presentations, such as presentations at work, presentations in front of a spouse or with a spouse, more like conversations. You should be able to handle conversations as well, whether it's on a date or it's in a religious gathering or it's at work. You should be able to handle those conversations. So communication, of course, is a very broad subject. And when you master it, you should be able to handle communication in different places. And I also want to take this opportunity to say a very big congratulations to everyone who took the offer that I made some days ago. Some people took the offer for Lagos, some people took the offer for Abuja. Whichever one you've decided to do, I want to let you know that you made the right decision. First of all, you are saving yourself over 20,000 naira, especially if you're in Abuja. In Lagos, it's about 10,000 naira or so. And secondly, you are preparing yourself for a journey that could possibly change the trajectory of your life. I can guarantee you that. because the next 4 weeks in September is going to be life transforming. It's going to be life changing. And to most of us that will be attending the program, it's going to set you on a course that you will look back at in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, and you'll be very, very grateful that you took the decision to invest in yourself. Self-development is the greatest investment anybody can make on themselves. It is very, very crucial today, because to the extent of success you can accomplish in today's fiercely competitive environment will be determined by the amount of investment you make on yourself. Your greatest real estate today is yourself, your mental capacity, your emotional strength, and your resilience to keep on investing in yourself until you become a much more effective and much more powerful person. So I really appreciate you taking that step. And I want to encourage you. It's going to be a lot of work. Our training is not a one-day training, and it is not a small training. It's going to cost you something. It's going to cost you your time. It's going to cost you your efforts. But at the end of the day, it will be worth it for you. I can guarantee you that it will be very, very worth it for you. Now, having said that, I would like to bring to the program just a brief interview. I'll be asking her just about 2 or 3 questions, and then we'll hear what she has to say, and then we get into the subjects that we have very fully. So the person I want to introduce is Mrs. Hadiza, and she has just taken our program for 3 weeks now. She'll be having the last week program this Saturday and Sunday. Mrs. Hadiza, if you can hear me, please could you briefly, the first question I want to ask you is just to introduce yourself, tell us your name, your location, and what you do for a living.
Okay. Good evening, Dr. Mikey.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Hadiza Sanaliru. I'm an electrical engineer currently working with Nigerian Communication Satellite Limited, and I reside in Abuja.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for coming and for honoring this invitation. So the second question I would like to ask you is, can you give us a little bit information about who you used to be before you attended the public speaking program, in terms of the kind of experiences you've had? Were you a shy person, or have you always been a confident person? You have to dodge speaking engagements. You know, what kind of person were you that made you to go for a public speaking training?
Okay. I was actually a very, very shy person, especially when I'm on with people I'm not comfortable with. If I'm out of my comfort zone, at home I can really speak, but once I'm outside, talking to colleagues is quite difficult for me. It still is as of now, but there is huge improvement. And
Okay.
when I'm put on stage, I have this stage fright that everything I go blank. I can't even carry interviews on phone like I'm doing now, because it's really scary. I have this serious stage fright that since from when I was growing up. So
Okay.
I wasn't outspoken. I don't have confidence. I don't even know how to answer questions that are normally easy to answer. So even at work, when I was on this training program, we were just 2 of us females in the technical department. So I was asked to join them and train some students when they come to work on what we do in our place of work. But after the training, the first day I was told to go on stage, everything went blank. So that was when something told me that I can't do this thing. I was not some people are just born public speakers.
Right.
I cannot do it. So I don't even know how I found Dr. Mikey on Instagram, and I said, let me just give it a try and see.
Okay.
I went to the first class, and what really made me to have this experience is the practical sessions we kept on having. Okay. Is it the impromptu spaces? Is it anything? There's these practical sessions that we have almost every day. So this is just 3 weeks, and I've seen serious improvement.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for telling us that. You used to be shy. You used to think that you are not a born speaker, so you probably should leave this speaking thing for people who are the speakers. But right now, you
Yes.
can see the changes using the training. So the next question I would like to ask you is, what are some of the courses you can quickly remember? Because I know we've talked about a lot of things in the academy, but a lot of people will be very interested in these courses because of how important they are to public speaking.
Okay, is it just the public? Because I joined two of your classes, Dr. Mikey, both of them, because they are also
Okay.
interesting. Is it the sales
Yes.
program or the public speaking program?
Let's stick with public speaking. Let's stick with public speaking. But then you can make reference to the sales if you feel like it's very important.
Oh, actually, the first time I went for your sales program, I just started a business. I don't even know how to market my product. So,
Oh,
but that first day, what you told me, I didn't even tell you then. When you said I
okay.
should start marketing my products, I should start calling people. I'm telling you, as of now, Dr. Nikki, I'm starting to outsource some products I'm selling because I'm totally out of stock.
Are you
Wallahi,
serious?
wallahi, that is the truth. You can ask. I have a senior colleague in he's taking this class. You can ask him. I'm totally out of stock. Just following some few things you asked us to follow. I'm not even following all because it's overwhelming. The classes I don't even know what. Sometimes it's either I don't even know what to take or what to drop.
Right.
So I'm telling you. So even if it is for the sales program, I've gotten value for my money
Okay.
in just
Okay.
3 weeks.
Wow. Wow.
The
But
public
what about the
speaking
public
class.
speaking? Okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm. The public speaking is not just about I know how to write presentations, PowerPoint presentations at work, but
Okay.
there is something that you told us just recently, as
Okay.
in the way you use your hands, the
Okay.
gestures you use your hands, as in they are so, because most times we see people, all these good public speakers.
Mm-hmm. Hello. Hello, Hadiza, are you still there? I think there's a network problem. Uh, can you still hear me, or is this general? Can anyone hear me?
The way they are talking is just,
Oh, okay, she's back.
I'm sorry, a call came in.
Oh, okay. I hope you're not driving though.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
So, as in the hand gestures we make or the eye contact is really important. I don't
Okay.
even know about that totally. It's like, I thought all these public speakers, I don't even know how they got to know it. So that one is a course on its own. The hand
Okay.
gestures you make, the
Yes.
how you do some for emphasis.
We treated it under the vocal variety and body language.
Yes, and
That
body
was
language.
last Sunday course.
It was last Sunday.
Okay.
And then another thing you told us is like that smiley face you give to people, and then that it gives people they want to really listen to you.
Okay.
Not like if you come on stage and you're all aloof on everything, everything will become boring and all that.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I got from last week's class. And
Okay.
Dr. Monkey, there's just so much that I filled a whole book. I don't even know what to how much.
Okay, yes, I know it's quite a lot, and with a lot of practice and all
It's
of that.
really quite a lot. As in
I mean,
then
we've
this
not even talked about
icebreaker,
the speech structure.
we spoke about this. That one is the
Yes.
most important thing I got. As in most times
Okay.
when we come for public speaking or presentation, you just say, "Good evening, my name is Hadiza Sani. I'm here to present." And you said no. Once you come in, you greet and then you give this captivating story, something that everybody will wake up and be like, "What is he going to say next?"
Yeah.
Before even the introduction. Because
Yes.
people are not just there to know who you are. They don't care who you are. If you're giving something that is really captivating, that's where they will sit down. They don't know you. They came to listen to why you are there.
Yes.
So that story really, really captivates people. Once you start with something
I think we'll, I put her on mute. Please, if you can hear me, unmute yourself, please.
Unmute.
Oh, sorry.
I can hear you, can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. So Hadiza,
Okay.
please continue.
Then there's this icebreakers there's this something you do in class that I thought it was just part of you, you know. So it was that there's this particular course on icebreakers too. They even told us that these are a few of how you will engage and
My own
interact.
icebreakers.
Yes, the ones that you
Okay.
just come close to somebody and you just like clap, and then somebody will just be like, I believe the first time I came for your class, I wanted to stay for an hour.
Okay.
But 3 hours into it,
You were still sitting.
I was still sitting, and my phone was in my bag. Most times my
Okay.
phone will be with me chatting, but it was so captivating that you'd be like, okay, what is next? What is next? As if time isn't enough. But
Wow.
it's really is
Wow.
extremely tough. Dr. Mikey, I cannot lie. This thing is
wow.
tough.
Wow. I really appreciate you saying that. I really appreciate you saying that, because a lot of people are wondering, oh, 65,000 naira, is that not too much to pay for this training? What if I don't get results? Some people will tell you, oh, I'm a natural born shy person. Dr. Mickey, are you sure this program is going to work? Some people will tell you, different things people say. And I used to tell people, stop giving excuses. Stop giving excuses. If you want something, come for it. Put your mind in it. We are going to do our best. We have a proven system that have worked for over a decade, but also you have to come with your own heart. You have to be involved. So you don't have to come with all these doubts, because doubts will not help you. You have to come with all your faith and say, this 1 month, I will make sure that there's something you said during your presentation last week, Sunday or so. You said you told yourself that after attending this one, if it doesn't work, that means you're not going to be a good speaker in this life. You just go home and rest.
I look for my talent elsewhere.
So that's the spirit. When you come, you put in your best efforts, right? I don't think you've ever missed a single class since you started.
No, I haven't.
So that is it.
I'm joining September class too.
Oh, okay. And you're coming back in September.
Yes.
Not because you didn't get results.
No.
You have to understand this, ladies and gentlemen, not because she didn't get results, but because she loved the result that she got and she wants to take it to the next level. She's like, okay, I've done 4 weeks and it's been this amazing. Imagine if I do 8 weeks, right? It's going to be much more amazing. So I really appreciate you coming. It will take you a lot more time to do that. It will take you a lot more time. But I think you are making progress, and I'm happy that the sales program, you paid, I think, 20,000 for 4 weeks, and so far she has sold out because she tested some, not all. And we have the one that is coming up this Friday. That one is so amazing. I'm so excited. I want to teach it because it's one of the most expensive services we render, and it is not easy, but it's somehow easy and it's somehow sweet compared to the results that it can yield. It's one of the things I shared with our premium clients, the Platinum Mortgage Bank, because they are our clients, and it brought in massive results. It's simply, how do I market my products and services and get more people coming into what I'm doing? Now, for those of you who run NGOs and those of you who are pastors, you might be wondering, do I need this course? The truth is, you need this course. You don't have to be a business person. If you own an NGO or you own a school or you are a pastor, you are already in the circle. You are in the authority space. You are in the thoughts leadership space. And so everything that we are teaching, whether in public speaking or in marketing, you will find it very, very relevant. Okay. So Hadiza, what would be your final words before I take over the class? To everybody listening to you right now, what would you say to them finally?
In summary, my recommendation is, if you're looking for public speaking skills, sales program skills, even if you're looking to just maybe, I don't even know how to say it. Even if you believe you're a good public speaker, but you just want to know the structure and all that, I believe Fodax Academy is. I'd recommend Fodax Academy for me and you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard that, and that is that for today. I want to get into the course for today very quickly. It is how to sell yourself, whether it is in an interview or it is in a negotiation or it is in a sales program. At some point in your life, you're going to have to sell yourself. What should you do? First of all, understand what sales is. What does it mean to sell yourself? It means to convince someone else of your own potentials or your worth. If you are currently earning less than your worth, it means you're not selling yourself well. If people are second guessing your potentials, it means you are currently not selling yourself. It also means to convince another of one's merit. In other words, you are convincing someone of your merit. So look at the word convince, convince, convince. The third one is to present yourself in a favorable light. One of the questions I get from people who are afraid of selling or improving their sales skills is they say, is this sales skill not manipulation? Because salespeople, they lie. That is not true. Okay, I'm a salesperson, but I don't lie. I don't lie about my products. I don't lie about my services, right? You don't have to lie to get people to buy into your products or your services. If you have something good and something that works, you don't have to lie about it. You just have to find a way to convince people. And in order to be able to convince people, you have to understand how human beings think, and you have to understand the principles of persuasion. The goal is persuasion, not manipulation. Manipulation is deception. Okay, coercion means to force people. When you put a gun on somebody's head and say, buy my product, that's coercion. You are coercing them to buy. When you deceive people to buy your product, that's manipulation. But when you persuade them, you are neither deceiving or manipulating. Instead, you are giving them a strong reason to do business with you. So yesterday, I gave some of you a strong reason to do business, and many of you took the offers that we have on the table, and you are currently joining us in September. I didn't have to put a gun on your head. I didn't have to lie to you about any of the services we are offering. I told you just the truth, because deep in your heart, when you see the truth, you know the truth. This program is right for you, and you know that. The same way, she doesn't have to lie about her products and services. And right now, I didn't even know, she hasn't told me, she said this right here, that she has completely sold out. Why? Because she has learned how to persuade more people to do business with her. So whether you're a pastor or you are into network marketing business, or you are about to start your own network marketing business, one of the things you do for yourself is to improve on your ability to persuade people to do business with you, to choose you, even though your company might be the smallest in the marketplace. There is a brand called you. There is a brand called you. Now, if you run a small company or a small business, the owner of many small businesses are the same thing with the business. What that means is that the success of the owner will rub off on the business, and the failure of the owner will as well run off on the business. So if you are building a small business, you have to understand that you are, in reality, the business. So by investing in yourself, you are investing in your business. I want every one of us here to take note of this. If you don't improve on yourself, you can never build anything that is worthwhile. The success of every entity, the success of every organization is largely dependent on the head that is moving it, the head that is heading it, if I could say it like that. What it means is that the success of your business, the success of your organization, the success of your network marketing company will be largely dependent on your own personal development, on your ability to drive it to success. Some people think that success is luck, but success is not luck. Success is not luck. For you to be successful, for you to build a thriving organization, the people who are managing that organization has to be trained and rooted and developed. Some of us here that run businesses, if your workers are not well trained, your business cannot grow. The business growth is dependent on the people who are managing the business. And I want you to take note of that. The next thing I want to say is that investors invest in people more than they invest in products. This is not to say that products are not important to investors, but it means that as an investor, I'm looking at the character and the attitude of the person that is running the business before I can give you my money. One of my earliest potential investors. I think it was around 2007 or so. He looked at me, he was a bank manager. He said, this business, I don't think it's going to work, but I know you and I like your drive. I like the way you do things. I would be willing to invest in your business. And he was willing to invest a huge amount of money into my business, even though he knows that the business might not even fly. Why did he do that? Because he believes in me. He believes in my own character, or he believes in my own leadership style. So, business more than they will invest in you. The next one, people buy into you before they buy your business. Before people do business with you, they have to do business with you as a person. They have to isolate your personality and who you are before they can do business with you. Now, why I'm telling you all of this is for you to understand that you are very central to the success of your organization. You are very central to the success of your business. You are very central to the success of your enterprise. If you don't constantly invest in yourself, if you have no higher capacity, if you don't build a strong capacity to negotiate, to convince, to persuade, to inspire, to motivate, you can never build any organization that is worthwhile today. So that is why, look at the people who are making it in their businesses. Check out on them. You will see that these are people who are investing 24/7 on themselves. They are constantly upgrading their knowledge, constantly expanding their network, constantly attending mentoring and mentorship events. Why? Because they want to expand their capacity to lead and their capacity to influence. When people register for public speaking program, it doesn't mean that most of them can't speak. Some of them have been speaking for years, but they are tired of the level where they are. They want to operate on a higher capacity. And that is why they are willing to spend a little more money just to gather that level of capacity. This being said, I want you to take note of the 11 strategies I will share with you for selling yourself in 2021. These strategies are for selling yourself, not for selling your products, but for selling yourself, selling the brand called you, the person, the man, the woman called you. The first one, the first strategy you must adopt is to be brutally honest with yourself. Be brutally honest with yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a very dishonest world. People don't want to tell themselves the truth anymore. There are some of us here that would like people to pay you ₦1 million, but you've never ever paid anyone else 50,000 naira for the same thing you want to be paid ₦1 million for. There are some of us here who think that they are worth something, but in reality, the capacity they have, the skills they have, don't actually match what they think that they have. In fact, there are some people listening to me right now that if not for the corruption in the Nigerian government system, people like you do not even deserve the kind of positions you occupy. You have no capacity to manage such positions. And so when Nigeria finally gets better and becomes a great country that rewards people based on their capacity and capability, a lot of people will lose their jobs. Why? Because they are not being honest with themselves. Luck is not a factor for success, for sustainable success. Luck is not a factor for sustainable success. What that means is you can't continue being lucky. At some point, you have to sit down and critically assess yourself and ask yourself some vital questions. Questions like, do I really possess the skills and competence for the job that I'm going for? If you are going for a job or a position, do you really possess the skills and competence for this job? Are you the one telling people how to be healthy, but you are unhealthy? Telling people how to lose weight, but you are heavy? Are you one of those who writes a book on how to become a millionaire, but you're looking for money to publish the book? This is not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Because some of us will say, I want to go to public speaking school so that I'll convince people. You can't convince people consistently based on lies. At some point, your reality will catch up with you. If you're going to be an effective leader or an effective speaker, you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to be what you want to give. You cannot give peace if your life is full of violence. And you cannot bring tranquility if your life is filled with different problems and chaos. So, do you really possess the skills? Do you have the competence for the job you are going for? This is not about speaking grammar. This is not about looking for a technique to confuse people. Deep inside you, have you really invested the amount of time and effort that is required to gain the competence for the job you are applying for? I worked with a man who said that he wanted to sell a particular product. And I sat him down and I asked him, sir, this product, if you are to be very honest with yourself, is it effective? Is it really working? Can you recommend this product to your own daughter? And what we realized was he knew that this product is not as effective as he claims. The product is not bad, but it's not as effective as he claims. So why would you want to sell something like that? Why would you want to sell something you are not proud of? That is what some of us are doing. Why not spend your time and effort finding what is as effective as it needs to be so that you can sell it with all confidence and boldness? So the second question to ask yourself, would you hire someone like you and pay yourself as much as you are currently asking? Some of us are asking for big money, but would you hire someone like you? I used to share this experience of some clients that would chat me up and say, Dr. Mickey, I really wish to overcome my stage fright. It has been haunting me for many years. I want to do something. I said, okay, opt in for our practical class in Lagos. It's just 35,000, or in Abuja, it's just 65,000. And then he said, no, I don't want to do that for now. Do you have any cheaper alternative? I say, yes, we have a virtual program. And he said, oh, I hope the virtual program will work. I say, sir, or ma, you are deceiving yourself. Okay, you are deceiving yourself. If people can overcome stage fright virtually, they would not need to go to a physical class and pay 65,000 when they can get the same virtual programs for 3,000 or 5,000 or 1,000 naira. So you cannot say you are looking for quality education, but you want to, it's like saying you are looking for quality medical care in Nigeria, but you are going to a general hospital where they will dump you there and you are begging the nurses to attend to somebody, they will not attend to them. If you want quality health care, you know where to get it and you know it's going to cost you money. So my point is, you have to stop trying to sabotage the process that will help you to become who you need to be to get to where you want to go to. Ask yourself, can you hire someone like you? Can you hire someone like you and pay yourself the amount of money you are asking for? The last question you need to ask yourself is, have you done your due diligence? Have you done your due diligence? People that want to become international speakers, have you done your due diligence? How many countries are you familiar with? How many courses have you prepared? Those of us that want to become eloquent speakers, you want to become very eloquent, you want to be outspoken. How many books have you read? How many programs or courses have you taken? The truth is, you must do your due diligence if you want to succeed in the marketplace or in the business world. I want to know if you are still following. Please, if you are following, I would like you to raise your hands or drop me a comment so that I know that I'm not alone. Oh, wonderful. 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 A lot of people are still following. Very great. Moyemi said following. Very great. So I know tonight might look a bit harsh, but I want you to understand, you're my friend. I wouldn't like to hurt your feeling, but at some point we've got to tell ourselves the truth. You have to do due diligence. Let me say this. I've seen this among Nigerian job hunters, right? People are coming to hunt for a job in your company and they can't even take 5 hours or 2 hours or 5 minutes to Google the company online. The company details are online and you see people applying for jobs and they can't even spend time to check on the company, to even visit the company or visit the company's website. How much would it cost you to Google about a company? And you're applying for a job there and you don't even know who is the CEO, you don't know who is the manager, you don't know when the company was started. It is during the interview you're now asking those questions. You're applying for a job, you don't know what people in that job position are being paid globally and in the specific city where you are. You've got to do your due diligence. If you want to do business with me, you've got to study me, you've got to understand me and what I want and what I'm looking for. That is how to start selling yourself. Brutal honesty. The second thing to do is to build self-confidence. Build self-confidence. If you have to sell yourself, you've got to build self-confidence. I read a study many years ago in which they asked thousands of women and they asked them, they said, as a woman, what are some of the things that that you love about the kind of men you want to date? What are the things about men that attract you a lot? The kind of man you want to be with? And guess what many of them said? They talked about confidence. There is nothing like a man who is confident enough to walk up to you and say hi and say, hey, I really like your hair and I would like to go out with you. As simple as that is, some of us here who are men might not even dare. But women love men with confidence. They love men who express themselves, men who know what they want and are very straightforward about it. The same thing is happening in the labor market. Your confidence will determine how much you'll be paid in the labor market, especially if you are here, you're a professional service provider. Your confidence will determine how much you'll be paid. Your confidence will determine how much respect the marketplace will place on you. Your confidence will determine how far you can even go in your professional career. So you can no longer joke with your confidence. I did a presentation in which I talked about who stole my confidence. And one of the things I said in that presentation is that in the current world, in the world we live right now, if there is anything that is very critical to your success that you must protect by all means, it is your confidence, because your confidence will determine how the marketplace will treat you. If you come out and you are timid and you are looking like a coward, the marketplace will not take your opinion very seriously. But when you come out with greater sense of confidence, the marketplace will take you even more seriously. So build self-confidence. And one of the fastest ways to build self-confidence is to take a professional public speaking course. Another way to build self-confidence is to probably join a drama group, a theater group, if you can. These are some of the ways to build self-confidence, or to take a leadership role in your company. Become a leader and participate in what is happening. These are some of the systems that will automatically push you to a place where you have no other choice than to build your confidence. The next thing you have to do, the next skill you need for you to be able to sell yourself, is to do your due diligence on your opponent. Do due diligence on your opponent. So I'm going to ask this question and I will quickly answer it. Who do you think is your opponent right now? Well, that depends. Your competitors are your opponents. Other people who are as qualified as you are your opponents. The company you are looking at having a contract from or getting a contract from, or the company you want them to hire you, they are also considered your opponent. If you are going to be successful, if you are going to sell yourself more effectively, it is very, very crucial that you study your opponent and understand them. You need to understand what they have that you don't have and what you have that they don't have. You need to understand what they are lacking so that you can be able to sell that particular value to them. So let me share my experience with you. In 2019, I chatted up with the founder of Thank You Cash. It was a technology company. And he's told me something. He said, why don't you drop by the office on Monday? Let us discuss and see if there is a place we can give you in our company, if there is something you can bring to the table. And so I thought that this is going to be a normal, friendly chat with the CEO, somebody I respect so much. And so on that very day, I think it was on a Friday or on a Saturday, I'm not very sure, I thought about it. I remembered this particular principle: do due diligence on your opponent. I said, this company, I cannot just go there. I need to do due diligence on them. So what I did was I went online and I began to study everything about the company. I took notes of the founders of the company. I took notes of the names, including the name of the accountant of the company, the chief accountant officer of the company. I checked the location of the company. Then I went to App Store, Google App Store, and downloaded the application and checked their rating on Google App Store. By the time I began to see some loopholes as a marketing consultant, I needed to know where exactly I can come in and the value that I will be able to offer this company. On doing all of this, the idea was not to come and get a job. You have to understand. He told me, come, let's have a conversation. He didn't say, come, I will give you a job, or I have a job for you. It was supposed to be a mere conversation. But I knew that you're not supposed to show up to the table without being prepared. Ladies and gentlemen, you have to prepare yourself. You have to prepare yourself. Even if it is 1 minute opportunity, you have to be so prepared that the people you come in contact with will not forget you. So what happened was on Monday, I dressed up, I went there, and on getting there, the man saw me and was like, oh, okay, you are here. Very good. Please have a seat. I had my seat. And then the next thing I saw, two Indians and his wife, the four co-founders of the company surrounded me. What was supposed to be a private conversation turned into a group interview. And they were firing questions from here to there. That was the first interview I've ever attended. And they didn't ask me how old I was, didn't ask me what I studied in school, didn't ask me any of those funny, funky questions. Everything they were asking were practical questions. If you were in this situation, how and what do you think you can offer? And every of these questions are things I've already prepared in my house, even though I didn't know that they were going to ask it. And I was telling them, look at what I found out, look at what I can do, look at what I have done, look at what I can do, look at what I cannot do. And by the time I finished the interview, they asked me, how much would you like to be paid? I mentioned my fee, and guess what? On the spot, they didn't even, the man said, there is no need to negotiate it. On the spot, they gave me the job. They said, when would you like to start? And I had to make a choice on when to start. The moral lesson of this story is that you have to study, whether they are your competitors or your peers, people who are in the same business with you. You have to take your time to study them. What do they have that you don't have? What do you have that they don't have? What do you know that they don't know? All of these things will prepare you to sell yourself because you know your opponent. If you do not understand your opponent, it will be difficult for you to know what you have that they do not have. So do due diligence on your opponent. The next one, quantify your accomplishments. I will teach you how to do that right now. And you can listen to this tape in case you miss the point. Now, when I ask people, tell me about yourself, this is what the average person would say. Oh, I'm a medical doctor, right? And some people say, I'm a pastor. And some people say, I am a banker. Now, what I told people is when you make statements like this, you are falling prey for something we call cliche. Cliche is what every other person is saying. I'm a banker. I'm a leadership expert. I'm a coach. I'm a marketer. It doesn't really tell us more about you. It doesn't give you any advantage, doesn't give you any edge over the competitors. So what you should learn to do is, instead of speaking in that way, learn to quantify your accomplishments. What are those accomplishments? Some of you have over 3 years experience, and having those 3 years experience, you have worked with more than 20,000 persons or more than 300 patients. So instead of saying, I am a medical doctor, you could say something like, in the last 7 years, I have been a medical practitioner and I have personally supervised more than 200 patients who 70% of them are people who are suffering diabetes. Now, when you quantify your success, the fact that you've attended to over 200 persons, or the fact that you've worked in 3 different organizations, when you speak like this, what happens is you give people a perspective on who you are. They begin to have a better understanding of who you are beyond just the fact that you are a teacher. So if you say, for instance, I'm a teacher, nobody really understands the kind of teacher you are. Are you a quack teacher? Are you a professional teacher? What else can you tell us about yourself? But when you let somebody know, look, for the last 10 years, I have been a teacher and I've taught in 3 different schools. And in those 3 different schools, I've worked directly with more than 100 students. Now, that gives me a very robust idea of your experiences, of your expertise, and of how much respect or dignity that it should be accorded to your opinion. So you have to understand that speaking in a normal cliche is for normal people. As a public speaking student, you must learn to quantify your accomplishment. Think of the things you've accomplished. Now, some of you who are parents might learn to say, instead of saying I'm a parent, you can say I am a parent of 3 agile children, one of which is a stubborn head, but is a very brilliant child. When you speak like this, you give other parents there some idea. Some of them can relate with, they say, oh, you know, that thing you said about one of your children is exactly the way my child is. Very brilliant, but is a stubborn head. Now they can find a connection with you, or they cannot relate with you, but now they understand that you have a different ideology or a different experience of parenting. That would give me a more better insight about the kind of parent you are than just telling me that you are a parent. It doesn't really give me any clue on what you have accomplished as a parent. So learn to quantify your accomplishments. The fifth one, learn to answer the question of why you and not them. So how does this happen? They take you to an interview, and then you see this number of persons who came for the same interview, sometimes 300 persons, 50 persons, 15 persons, and the interviewer will look at you and say, Mr. Chooks, look at all these people, they are all qualified, they all have certificates, they all are graduates. Why should we hire you and not them? Why should we hire you and not them? In order to answer these kind of questions, there are two things you must bear in mind. Number one, you must have studied the organization. You must have studied the organization to understand what the organization needs, not what they want, what they need, what are they looking for. You have to understand that need and want are two different things for organizations. There are organizations that need trust more than skills, but they want skills. But the most important thing is actually trust. Integrity is the most important thing. They can always find somebody with integrity and teach the person the skills. So you have to understand what the organization needs. The second thing is you must understand what you have that fits into the organization's need. What do I have? What do I possess that fits into the organization's need? There are organizations, for instance, like Google, that are more interested in unconventional ideas, in the ability of someone to think outside the box. Now, that doesn't mean that thinking outside the box is all you need to get a job in Google, but it means if you have every other skill that every other person has, and you can think outside the box, then you become a very critical asset, and Google would want to hire you because it is one of the things that is important to them. So you must know what the organization needs, and then you must know what you have that matches with the organization's need. Once you have these two things, this is how to answer this question. There are two ways you can answer this question. The first one is to say, I believe you should hire me. Start the statement with something like, I believe you should hire me because, and then you mention those things that you have. So I believe you should hire me because sometimes you can use comparison. For someone like me, I could say, I believe you should hire me because unlike all these other people here, I have worked in two different public speaking schools, and I've been teaching public speaking for over 10 years, and I've personally helped at least 1,000 persons to be able to overcome their stage fright and build self-confidence. Now, that is to me. That is because I understand my own industry and what I have that is not common. You have to think of what you have that is not common. I believe you should hire me because, and then you mention 2 or 3 of those things you have that are unique. So don't go there and say, I believe you should hire me because I'm a graduate. Remember that every other person there is likely a graduate. Don't go there and say, I believe you should hire me because I'm God-fearing. Unless being God-fearing is a very critical factor in that particular business that you are applying for. The second way to answer this question is to use a technique I developed about 4 years ago, right? And that technique is I ask you a question that will draw in your value system or what I believe to be your value system. Then I make you feel that I am the perfect fit for that value system. Unless you're not looking for that value system, then you wouldn't have to hire me. Let me give you an example. So someone wants to hire me for a marketing job, and there are other marketers that have written proposals and they are saying, look, sir, we would love to hire you, but look at all these people. They are all qualified. They all have marketing companies just like you. Why should we hire you? What I'm going to say, I will start with, if you are looking for, that is a statement you must take note of and practice with it. I'm very, very particular about the phrases that I use. If you are looking for, now when I say if you are looking for, I will put the thing that I believe is more important to you as a company, not the thing that is important to me, the thing that is important to you as a company. I will put it. So I will say, if you are looking for a marketing company that you can trust with your project and go to sleep without having to be calling them every day to remind them of the project. If you're looking for a marketing company that have done it for over 4 years and have proven record, then we are the right fit for you. Did you understand the statement now? If you are looking for I'll mention the value system, and then I'll say, then we are the right person for you. And sometimes there are different ways you can end it. You can also end by saying that many people would say that we are the right fit for you. So if you're looking for a public speaking school that has successfully empowered over 50 persons that are willing to testify of the goodness of their program because their program works, then a lot of people would recommend FODAX. So I think I've spoken for some time. Let me make sure that you are still following. It's quite an interesting discussion today. Who is still following, please? Talk to me.
Lelo, we are here, sir.
Yes, I know you are there, but are you following? That's the most important thing.
Okay,
Yes, we are following.
Yes, we are following.
We are following.
We are following.
Is it difficult for you? What I'm saying, is it difficult?
No, interesting.
We are catching up.
Interesting. Okay. Another mature way. Okay, very good. Thank you. Another mature way you can do this, if you're a mature person, another way you can do this is when people ask you, why should I hire you? Right? Turn the table around and ask them, what do you want? Why should I hire your company? Sorry, sir, can I ask you a question? What do you want? What is more important to your company right now? And then whatever they told you, you ask yourself, can my company deliver this more than the other people? If they can, then let them know this is what we can deliver. So let's say you bid for a contract and they brought you into a meeting and they said, why should we use your company? You see, sir, can I ask you a question, please? What is more important to your company regarding this project? If it is money, don't give them option, but I'm just giving you an option. Do they want it cheap? Do they want it solid? Is it quality? Is it the reputation? Is it the deliverables? Try to find out what is important to them and then let them know that your company can deliver exactly on that. Again, remember that if you lied, you won't be in business for a long time. So if your company cannot do it, change the conversation. Let them know, look, when it comes to this and this and this and that, that is what our company can do. When it comes to this, it's not our strongest suit, but we can, find a way to let them know that you can be able to cover for those things, even though they are not your strongest suits, because that is the closest you can go to being honest. Again, the first thing is to be brutally honest with yourself. And when you are brutally honest with yourself and you realize that you don't have what it takes, what you should be doing is investing your time and resources, getting what it takes. So why should we hire you? Why should I hire you? Why should we accept you? Why should we accept your proposal? Remember that if somebody's core value is integrity and you are telling them that they should hire you because you have skills, then you are missing the point. If somebody's core value is loyalty and you are telling them that you have foreign education, please put your phones on mute. If somebody's core value is loyalty and you are telling them that you schooled abroad, it wouldn't make any difference because the most important thing to them is not where you schooled. It is your loyalty. Let's talk about number 6. Use selective sincerity or selective honesty to your advantage. In public speaking, there is this principle I used to talk about and people laugh about it and they will say it's somehow corny, but I believe in it. I used to say that honesty and sincerity are not the same thing. In the dictionary, they might be the same thing, but functionally, they are not the same thing. As public speakers, most times what we have is sincerity and not honesty, because honesty is a very, very big deal. Let me give you an example. If you have ever met with network marketers, right, they will tell you that if you join this network, you have the potential to become a multi-millionaire in 3 weeks, sometimes in 2 weeks. They will share stories of people who joined and they became multi-millionaires in 3 weeks or in 2 weeks. That is sincerity. Sincerity means I'm telling you the truth from the best of my knowledge. But that is not all the truth. It just means that I'm telling you the truth the way that I see it, but not all the truth. All the truth would have been to also tell you that there are thousands of other people who joined the network and have been there for 5 years, but they've not made a dime. But again, if I tell you all of that, you wouldn't join the opportunity. You wouldn't be able to do business with us. So use selective sincerity or selective honesty. What does that mean? It means that when it comes to your conversation, you have to select the places that best showcases your strength or best showcases the brightest part of you, right? While secretly ignoring the places that shadow the dark side of you. You will not talk about it, so you have not lied. You only lie when you say something. If you did not say something, then you have not yet lied. Will never be perfect. There will always be a place where you have lapses. Do not destroy your own chances by talking too much. You must learn to select the stories you share, select the places or the part of your experience that are relevant to the clients that we share that will help you to sell yourself more. Number 7, buy leverage. Buy leverage. If you can hear me, I want you to type. Don't say it, but type it. Type with me, buy leverage. I wish this is a live event. I would have asked you to go and slap somebody and tell them to buy leverage. I told my clients, I said, it's not everything you have to do. Sometimes learn how to buy things for yourself. It's not every time you want to build a house. If you have the resources, buy the house already. Save yourself the time and the stress of having to buy cement and take all this time trying to build something. Buy leverage. If there is a leverage you will need in the future, go now and buy it. Some of you know that in the next 3 years, you are planning to set up an NGO. In the next 5 years, you are planning to set up a business. In the next 10 years, you are planning to retire. The question is, have you started buying the relationships you will need those days? Or is it when you get there, you now start looking for somebody and start calling them and they don't even know you? You have to look into 5 years from today, look into 3 years from today, and ask yourself, who would I need? What would I need? And start going to get those things, buying them. There are relationships you need. There are experience. There are people you should be friends with if you are building some kind of things. Some people are already doing what you want to do in the next 5 years. Every day you see them, but you are not even attending their own program. You are not even building the relationships with them. Then tomorrow, out of nowhere, you start calling them on the phone and start asking them to share their trade secrets. They will not share it with you. And then you come up online and you start beefing and you start gossiping and talking about how nobody is helping anybody. But the truth is, you never bought that relationship when you had the chance and the resources. There are young people around you right now that could be very, very instrumental to your success in the next 5 years, in the next 15 years, but you're not talking to them. In the future, some of these young people will become the next Wizkid, the next Burna Boy, and now you start calling them and they start giving you attitude. Why? Because you saw them when they were still coming up and you never invested in that relationships. Sometimes go to seminars not because you are interested in the subject, but because you want to be parts and partners and build friendships with the organizers of those programs. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. I wish I could see your face right now to know those that are saying, no, Dr. Mickey, I don't want to do this. Oh, this is scary. Listen, there are associations you have to belong to. There are affiliations you have to get. There are certifications you need to get. Those certifications will not make you a success, but they will buy you places. They will buy you names and reputations. Do you know why some people are spending money to have doctor attached to their names? Because they know that in certain circles, when there is a doctor in your name, it increases your perception. It increases the perception and the reception of your opinion. Think about it. Don't wait until you get there and you start complaining that people are not trying to help you. The question is, are you buying the relationships? Do you know that sometimes people go to expensive schools because they want to also have quality friends, expensive friends who they can do business with? Do you know how much people spend in Lagos Business School? Do you think they are going there to learn something that they could possibly also learn online? Why are people spending that kind of money? Because they want to buy the connection. They want to buy the mentoring. I remember a man that told us the story of how he wanted Fela Drote to be his mentor. And what did he do? He registered for his first program. In the first program, he did not notice him. He registered for another second program and he was paying money all this while. Second program again, something happened. He still did not notice him until the third program. That was when he said, yo, I think I know this face. You've been paying for my event. He said, yes, I've been paying and I've been coming. But what he didn't know is that this man has been strategically positioning himself to have that relationship because he knew that this relationship will be instrumental to his success in the nearest future. So there are people around you right now that are still coming up, relationships you should be leveraging on, but you are avoiding them. And then when they have finally grown to the top, now you are trying to come back to them and they don't even know who you are. There are certifications that are affordable to you right now. Why are you not getting them? Why are you not getting them? What associations do you belong to? What affiliations have you bought so far? What platforms do you have? Some of us here that already have some money, you shouldn't be starting from the scratch. You should be paying platforms to give you the opportunity to share what you have. Imagine if somebody is holding a conference and has more than 500 persons who are going to participate. And you said, listen, I'm going to partner with your conference, but I need just 30 minutes to speak to these guys. Think of the immediate publicity it will give you. Think of the clients you could possibly convert in the same event. Think of the people you'll be able to make much impact in their lives. That would be much, much better and much more effective than saying you want to organize your own program because it will cost you more money and you don't even have the reputation yet. So my encouragement to you, the seventh encouragement to you, if you want to sell yourself, buy leverage. There are people that once you say, look, I graduated from this school, it changes their perception of you. When you tell people, look, I'm not just any house speaker, I got a professional certificate as a public speaker, it changes the way they perceive you, right? So I don't know where you will need leverage, but you have to ask yourself, where would I need leverage in the next 5 years? Where would I need leverage in the next 10 years? I need to go and buy those leverage and start using them to my advantage. The next one, avoid desperation. I think this is the last. Oh, okay, we have 11 to share. Avoid desperation at all costs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to be a very great salesperson anywhere in the world, one of the skills you must cultivate is the skill of staying in control. You have to always be in control. You have to avoid desperation at all costs. In every negotiation, the person who is desperate is likely going to lose. The person who is desperate is likely going to be taken advantage of. So what do you do to avoid desperation? Make sure that you always have options. Make sure you have options so that you are not desperate. Walk into every negotiation knowing that it could either be a yes or a no, and always be willing to walk away. Know what you want. Know how much you are willing to go and how low you are willing to go. And once it doesn't fit in, do not show signs of desperation. The moment people find out that you are desperate, they will take advantage of that. So learn to stay in control and not display that you may actually be desperate about what you're asking for. Number 9, always focus on what you have to offer. I've talked about this earlier. Always think of what you have to offer. What do I have to offer this organization? What do I have to offer this company? Forget about what you want. If you want to get people to your project, forget about what you want. Ask yourself, what will my project give to them? People are fundamentally selfish. People are fundamentally selfish. Nobody is coming to save your business or to save you. Everybody is doing what they are doing for their own benefit. There is something they want for themselves. So always think in terms of, what do I have to offer them? What will they benefit if they can do this business with me? I've received, on Facebook, I just recently posted something asking some people, for people who have business ideas that could require investment less than 500,000. And a lot of people started pitching to me and telling me how wonderful their businesses are, but they are missing out. Most of them are missing out on what is important. I didn't say I'm giving a grant. I said I'm looking for a business to put my money in so that I could get some money. So I'm not looking for somebody to give my money and then you just go away with it. Tell me what I stand to get. So the person I'm currently discussing with just said, look, with this, you're going to make 8% profit on your money every month. So I did the calculation. I said, all right, send me your proposal, send me everything, send me the details. And we've already started talking. Why are we talking? Because he has told me what I want to hear. What I want to hear is, how would your business benefit me? I want to give you money, but it has to benefit me. If it doesn't benefit me, there is no need for me to be giving you my money. So if you have something to sell, or you have a project to sell to people, or you have yourself to sell to people, think of the value you can bring to the organization, the value you can bring to the people, not what you can get from them. Always think like that. The next one is to clean your social media handles. A recent study by the Society for Human Resource Management found that 84% of employers recruit via social media, and 43% of employers screen job candidates through social media networks and search engines. What this means is that a lot of people are currently searching for you on social media. A lot of people are, okay, thank God said, I have a better deal on the comment section. Well, if you have a better deal, I probably would have engaged you in a conversation. So if I haven't engaged you in a conversation, it means you haven't made me an offer. You probably told me how wonderful your business is, but you've not told me how much money your business can make to me. Remember, as an investor, I am not only interested in your business, I'm interested in the profit it's going to make to me. All right. So check your comments, use what you've learned tonight and try again, maybe somewhere else, or maybe still with me, and let's see if it's going to work. Clean your social media handles. Go to your Facebook, go to your Instagram, go to your Twitter, go to your LinkedIn, and ask yourself, if somebody is looking to hire me and they come here, will they still hire me? Some of us, our social media handle is filled with a lot of funny things that doesn't even speak anything about what we do. There are many of us here, if you go to their social media handle, you cannot even predict the business they are doing. You cannot predict what they are doing. That should not be you. So I want you at the end of this program to go and check the social media handles of the people who are leading in your industry and ask yourself, how can I clean my social media and set it up in such a way that it will convey what I'm doing? Friends, social media is no longer that thing for young people or for small boys and girls. Social media is the new world. You have to be there, but you have to be there for strategic purpose. You have to learn how to sell your business and sell yourself and let the global community know that you have what they are looking for, and constantly share that with them. Okay. And the last thing we have today, before I start taking your questions, is to answer key questions with relevant story or case study. Anytime you're asked a question in public speaking, I've been teaching this to our clients, learn to answer a question with a story or a case study, especially if it's a crucial question like, what is your passion? What motivated you to start a business? Why are you doing what you're doing? Don't answer things like, why are you doing what you're doing? You say, I want to help people because I want to empower people. That's not how to answer such questions. If you want to answer such questions, think of a story. So I went to Toastmasters International in 2015, if I'm not wrong. I think it's 2015 or 2016. And I got there. It was my first time in Toastmasters. A friend of mine took me there, and we were sitting down. And then I didn't know there's this thing in Toastmasters they call table speakers. And basically what they do is they ask first-timers questions and expect you to answer the question very briefly so that, you know, they can see the loops and then encourage you to join their program. I didn't know. So I got there, we were 5 of us, and they asked us one single question. What is your passion? That was the question. So the first woman stood up. She said her passion is this and that and that. She just spoke on a general note, and that was good. And then the other person stood up and talked about his passion. The other person stood up. When it got to my turn, I started with a story. I said, I was born and brought up in one of the most impoverished societies in the capital, in the commercial city of Anambra State, a place called Onitsha. When I said that, everywhere went, bam, because the question is, what is your passion? But I started with a story that created so much imagery, so much suspense all of them went quiet. And then I talked about the city and how the city inspired me to think, to grow, to fight through life and all of that. And then I told them that the city is what inspired the passion and the resilience that I have today. They kept making reference to that speech throughout that presentation. This person would stand up and say, according to this speech, I like the way my brother put it. They kept making reference to the speech. And that day I won an award. My first day in Toastmasters, I won an award. They call it the Table Speakers Award, which I'm very grateful for. Now, I have gone to do this in real life, and it works all the time, right? It works all the time. If you're a young guy and you're listening to me, and you go out on a date with a lady, and the lady says, why me, right? Why me? Why did you choose me? Some people will say, oh, because you are special, or because I like the way you talk, or because you look different. Those things are cliche. It doesn't make sense to them. So what should you do? Tell them a story. Listen, in 2015, I started dating. From 2015 to 2021. But there is something about you. You see, now when you tell them a story and you give them a background information, they begin to understand that whatever you've seen came as a result of your experience with other people. You must have seen something different because you've also been with other people, many other people for that sake. But when you tell them in a very straightforward manner, without using a story to express your points or your thoughts, what happens is it ends up being a cliche. So learn to answer questions with a story. One of the key speakers in the world that did this is a man called Jesus of Nazareth, the son of a carpenter. Sometimes when you ask him a question, he will tell you a parable, or he will tell you a story, or he will ask you back a question. What a great communication skill he had. No wonder he was able to make so much impact that over 2,000 years after his death, a lot of people are still following this guy, the son of a carpenter from Nazareth. Can you imagine? So when you are asked key questions like, what is your passion? What motivated you to start up this NGO? Don't start telling them, oh, I saw people suffering. No, tell them the story. Start with something like in 2005, something, but let it be true story. Now, some of you will say, what if I don't have a story? That is not true. You have a story. You just haven't sat down to ask yourself, why did you start this? Did you lose a parent? Did you lose a loved one? What happened in 1965 or what happened in 1998? How did your experience in so and so place inspire you to start this? There is always a story for starting a business. There's always a story for starting ministry. There's always a story for starting whatever you have started. So think of that and learn to speak like that. That being said, I would like to remind you that we are still open to receiving your registrations at the Fodax Training Academy. We offer a 4-week training or 4 weekends program. If you are in Abuja, it is on weekends. If you are in Lagos, it is on weekdays. This is a practical coaching and training program, and we have practice sessions. Some of these things I told you will be sounding very wonderful until I ask you to come and deliver it in person. You'll be very surprised at how different it feels when you are standing in front of people to deliver these presentations. So you need a place to practice. And then our program covers the core courses or subjects on public speaking and presentation skills, including general communication skills. And so far, so good. It's one of the most affordable programs. In Lagos, it is just for 45,000. In Abuja, it is just for 65,000 Naira. And we have 2 locations where you can do your practice. And we're actually planning to expand a little bit beyond Nigeria. We're currently considering Uyo, and we're looking at other countries, other African countries outside Nigeria. But for now, you can find us in Lagos and Abuja, or you can take our virtual programs and our virtual classes. There was a discount before, but right now, I think the last time I checked, I think the discounts are pretty much filled up, but I'm not very sure. So for tonight, if you are still the lucky person, you can join us by making payments tonight to probably secure your slot. In Abuja, it is 45,000. Only for those who participated in this program, and only for those who are starting in September. So if it is beyond September, you might have to pay the original fee. Okay, so if you chat me up tonight and get the company's account, you can pay 45,000 and save 20,000. And in Lagos, you pay 35,000 and save 10,000 for your transportation. So those are the few things I want to tell you. and I would like to take your questions if you have any. Wow. Please tell me I'm not talking to myself.
No, you are not talking to yourself.
Oh,
No,
thank
we are listening.
you.
We,
Thank
we
you.
are with you. Yeah.
It feels like I'm talking to myself.
Oh,
Okay.
the lecture is quite interesting.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I would like to take your questions, whatever questions you have, just ask me. Because today is the last day of the question, I can also take questions outside our conversations, but within communications or marketing. Okay, those are the only areas I want to focus on. Any other personal questions, you can chat me up personally and we can talk about it. So do I have people who have questions or concerns, or those who will be coming in September for our program?
So September when, please?
September 4th is the first time we are starting for Abuja because it's a Saturday. Lagos, I don't know. I think it's probably be on a Monday, but I'm not very sure. But it's usually 4 weeks.
My name is Ibrahim Abdullahi from Kuje.
Okay, that is Abuja.
Yes, I want to take in for September, but the discount, what will be the discount?
The discount was 20,000 before now, but I need to chat them up to know if that discount is still available.
Okay.
So they are paying 45 instead of 65. But if you are not interested in the discount, you can just pay 65 and still join us in September.
Okay, I'll get in touch.
All right. Please make it quickly, just in case maybe it's one or two options.
If one is paying what account?
Into the school's account, I will send it to you. Not into the account you paid during this program, but into the school's account.
It's okay. I don't have any question for now, but
okay.
I don't have a question for now, but it's it's articulated. Your lecture today is very articulated.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay, any questions or comments? Vote of thanks. Today is the last day, so let's.
Good evening.
Yes, good. Oh, Amina finally spoke. Wonderful.
Good evening. My name
Good
is
evening.
Amina.
Yes, welcome.
Please, my question is, in your speech, you earlier said you attended Toastmaster.
Yes.
So for you being a guest there and for you having your public speaking school, like what's the difference between the two?
Okay. I get this question a lot. People asking me Toastmaster or FODAX, and then we also have people who have paid for Toastmasters and they're attending FODAX, and people ask me what's the difference. Well, the truth is Toastmasters is good. Toastmasters is nice because Toastmasters also involves practicing. That is the beautiful thing about them is that they involve practicing and they've been around for a very long time. The problem with Toastmasters compared to FODAX is that Toastmasters is quite long. Okay, Toastmasters want you to attend. I think it's a weekly meeting, and then for over a period of time before you'll be able to cover the courses we have. But FODAX is Saturdays and Sundays for 4 weeks. So that means in those 4 weeks, you are covering over 8 different courses with the practices that are involved. Okay, so if you are the type of person that you want to take your time and before you know what is happening, after maybe 1 year or 2 years, you will finally arrive, then you might take the Toastmasters approach. But if you're the person that just wants to do this thing once and for all and get results, and then maybe slow down and improve more, but now I want to really get results, deal with my public speaking problems once and for all, then FODAX is more recommended for you. Also, FODAX has a touch. There's something about, because Toastmasters is a club, so sometimes it can be very huge and it can be very large. You can see a lot of people. But FODAX, once you are in class in September, you only have your classmates. It's a class of maybe 15 or 10 persons. So the coaches can easily deal with you directly. You can easily call me. You can easily talk to me or we have about 5 other coaches you can talk to. So there's that interactivity and that access compared to Toastmasters that could be quite huge. But I also learned that sometimes they provide coaches, but I don't know how easily it is to have quick access to those people. So that's my opinion on the both.
Okay, then the second question is, the lady that is presently attending your school now, Hadiza,
Okay.
the one that spoke earlier.
Yes.
You know, I had her say she was going to rejoin she was coming back for the September class.
Yes, that's
so
correct.
What I want to know is, if someone enrolls now and you want to come back again,
Yes.
do you still continue redo what you did, or you maybe you go to the next level?
Okay, so it's in two ways, right? It's in two ways. You will redo most of the things you already did, but this time you'll be trying out other things that are more difficult. So during the course of your program for these 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks, you are doing your practices will include the storytelling practice, the icebreakers practice, the research practice, and the sales practice. But there are other forms of practices you are supposed to do. But because it is 4 weeks, and we don't want people to think, because if you tell people 2 months, they will think it's because you want extra money. So we want to cut it down so that if you want to go extra mile, it's totally optional. So as she's coming back now, we'll be changing some things for her. We'll be making the practices a little more difficult for her. So that because she has done the basic ones, now she needs to get a little more better. And also we can be having some private sessions to discuss some of the areas or some of the things she might need to do. Plus, she might have to take, or not even might, she will definitely take other extra courses like PowerPoint, presentations. She will have to try humor and other forms of statistics, other forms of presentation. So there are other specialized stuff they will take alongside what they have already done before. I don't know if you understand that.
Yes, I do.
But that also depends on how the person is coping, because Hadiza is coming back because she got results. Okay, there are other people who are coming back because, okay, I've got results, but there are some, even in what I've already been taught, that I've not really got properly. Those people, we might not start giving them extra. We let them, grow at their own pace, because the goal is for you to be able to do it, not for you to just attend program and give us money. You have to be able to do it. So at that second month, it starts becoming a little more customized for the individual.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then if you are,
yes, I'm clear. I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Do I still have other questions? Oh, sorry. Continue.
So you earlier mentioned there'll be something happening on this Friday. I didn't hear because the network was a bit bad.
Yes, this Friday we're having the last class for our sales training program. That is the programs Hadiza was also talking about. We're having the last class, and the course for the last class is on marketing, how to market your business or your product and services. And normally we're not supposed to allow other people to come in, but a lot of them are telling me, look, people want this information. It's very important. Give them a chance. So we said, excuse me, if you want to join us, you just pay 5,000 naira and join us for Friday program. It starts by 4 to 7 p.m. at our office. So maybe that will also be an opportunity for you to know the office while you prepare for the public speaking training. That is if you registered.
Okay. So you send us the details if you want to attend?
Yes. So Friday. How this thing works is anyone you want, you chat me up, because I don't even know who is who here. So I can't be reaching out to you, just like people I told I will send a gift and they're waiting for me to chat them up. I don't even know who is who. So it's when you chat me up, I send you the appropriate information. And if you don't chat me up, I assume you're not interested in it. So there is no need to bother you about it. So if you want the account details, some people are already chatting up with me on WhatsApp as I'm talking to you, asking for account details. So if you want the account details, or you want to pay for Lagos or Abuja or for the sales program, any one of it you want, you chat me up on WhatsApp and I supply you with the information.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Somebody said, can we still get record of this teaching? The answer is yes. Immediately after the class, check the group. You'll see a link I'll post. That'll be the record of tonight's program. Do I still have other questions to attend to?
Yes, good evening, Doctor.
Good evening, Mr. Bolawa.
Oh, I'm glad you know my name. Well, nice one, nice one, nice one. It's been a well-loaded section, and I introduced a colleague of mine to you today. His name is Ben.
Okay.
And,
Yes.
I mentioned
Yes.
it. Yeah. So he is also, we are together. Though
Okay.
I'm a practicing engineer, civil structural engineer with well over 20 years experience in consulting civil structural. But I just, you did mention something that I really would, I would like to dig more into and then see how I'll make very good use of about buying leverage.
Yes.
Buying leverage, yeah. I started a company of mine 2006, consulting engineering firm too. But all things being equal, things are moving well. And I would like, based on what I've just learned tonight, there's one or two things I'll put together to really see how I can forge ahead. But one thing with me, or with the way things are structured now presently, is I'm in Songwater, along with that my colleague. We're overseeing a project there. And when we return back to Lagos, I don't see us. You said Lagos is during the day. If the program is weekend based, it would have been nice. But having it during the office or official hour, I don't know. And I wouldn't want to key into the what's it called, online stuff that I'll just get the material studied on my own. So I don't know if you have a plan to organize a weekend training for those in Lagos. Then one will be able to know, okay, how I
when you say weekend, can you be specific about the days?
What I mean, Saturday, Sunday, if possible.
No, we don't do Sunday in Lagos, but we do Saturday. We actually do Friday and Saturday in Lagos.
No, Friday is a no.
Yes,
my
you can
Monday
only
to Friday.
Actually, for our very busy executives, we recommend the 4 weeks, that is 4 Saturdays in Lagos. We have a program for very busy executives only on Saturdays in Lagos for 4 weeks. And it's still at the same fee, 45 or 35 if you're on a discount. So I would suggest you take that one. It starts by 10, it ends by 2. It also involves you practicing. So what you do is, for someone like you, if you feel like the 4 Saturdays will not really cover what you want, then you can just register for 2 months.
For 2, okay.
Come again. I said if you for 4 weeks, if you feel like it's too small for you, you can register for 2 months instead. That will give you 8 Saturdays, but it's still the same cost.
Still the same amount.
No, not the same amount, of course. You are paying double of the money.
It's okay, no problem. It's nice. It's okay. I have your contact. We'll chat. Okay. Actually, I ought to have come on board before this last one, but I don't know. But it's okay. We'll chat. We'll talk after the class.
Okay. And let me make this announcement because I've seen it happen. When we give you a discount, there is a time frame. Because I've seen people,
don't worry about.
No, I'm not saying it because of you. I'm not saying it because of you. I'm saying it because some people chat me up in November and say, "Oh, it's." But you said 45. I said 45. Then there is a reason. As I'm talking to you right now, there are so many people who are registering. 2 people registered in Abuja today. They paid the actual fee. They didn't even know there is a discount. So why we give this discount is because we know you are going to come and maybe you need some incentives to encourage you. So that's why we give it. Does not mean that if somebody chats me up October and say, "Oh, the fee is 45,000." No, if you check our website, if you check our banner, if you check our Instagram page, the fee is very static. It's 65 and it's worth the money. Okay, that's on the general notes for everyone.
It's okay. So
also, our virtual program does not send you materials. Our virtual program is what I'm doing right now. It's like this. But the only challenge is sometimes it might be you or 1 or 2 other persons. It's not as crowded as this. And it's going to be somebody teaching you through Zoom. And then at the end of which you'll be told to go and make a video of yourself and submit, and then the person will check it out and give you feedback based on that.
Okay.
So that's how it looks.
Okay. It's okay. Noted. We'll get talking, Dr. Mickey.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll get back to you at the end of the class. Let's see how it
All
goes.
right, sir. All right.
So thank
Do
you,
I
sir.
have other people asking questions? Any other question? Because today is the last day, I just want to take this time to answer your question. I have just 3 more minutes to close this session. Okay. I don't think there is any other question. Somebody say, please, do you assign personal coach to each participant? What do you mean participants? Registered clients or our online participants? Not really in the sense of a personal coach, like somebody you'll be, because it's not a private session, right? But you have coaches who are available to assist you. So when they need D, we will talk to a coach, but it's not like an official agreement that will give you a personal coach, because once we give you a personal coach, it has become a private session. I currently I handle a lot of private clients and they are paying a lot of money. I can go to their house. I go to their houses actually. I go to their offices. We can sit out at any time. They have private access to me. But once you're a student, you have access to the coaches, but not like a private arrangement. That means you won't ask them to come to your house or something. If you have any problems, they might come earlier to the class to walk you through it. They might even help you during the program on a personal level if you're finding something difficult. So that's how they work with you. But to come to your house as part of the fee, that's not included. Okay, so I think we don't have, thank you so much. I look forward to working with you in September. And those who want to register for the sales program, please program. That means you're paying extra 5,000. It's not included for people in Lagos or people outside Abuja. The sales program is a physical program and it's 5,000. But we are planning to do the online version of the sales program too. That's anybody can have access to it. When that happens, you will know if you are still following us on Instagram. So check out our Instagram page and follow us on Instagram so that you can get every other information that we have. I will post the Instagram page at the group. I'm also posting it here now so that you can follow us. And when you follow us, you'll be able to get more information about any program or programs that we have. I think at this juncture, we'll call it a good night. Thank you so much for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you in Abuja or in Lagos.
Thank you. Good night.
Mr. Omar, good night.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. Dr.
Good night.
Mickey.
Thank you.